Yeah. Ay, 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 ay. Whoa. If the real talk gets in hot, bring it up. If the lies need sunlight, bring it up. Cause every night we talk love and then we talk lies, then we laugh. Then we open your eyes. If it's messy but it's funny, bring it up. If it's sweet but it's shady, bring it up. Cause every night we talk love and then we talk lies. Real talk in our Cayman tonight.
Good evening, Cayman. You're tuned in to Real Talk, Love and Lies, the late night space where we put love, lies, and all the messy in between on the table without the fake perfection. I'm your host, Alfred. Matilda is off tonight, but she may pop in to give her views. But our real co-hosts are you, the listeners. Your stories shape this show. If you're new here, this is where we talk honestly about relationships and betrayal, laugh so we don't cry, and ask the questions most people only whisper about in group chats. So get comfortable, plug in your headphones, or turn the volume down if the kids are still awake. This is Real Talk, Love and Lies, and we're just getting started.
Happy Valentine's Day to Ono. Happy Valentine's Day to Ono. Happy Valentine's Day to Ono. Happy Valentine's Day to Ono.
Quick disclaimer before we get into it. The content you're about to hear, including discussions and opinions from myself, our guests, and participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. We're not therapists, lawyers, doctors, or financial advisors, and nothing said on this show should be taken as professional advice. It is not a substitute for counseling, legal guidance, medical care, or financial consultation. If you have specific concerns, we strongly encourage you to seek advice from a qualified professional. Real Talk, Love and Lies accepts no liability for any decisions or actions taken based on the information shared here tonight. We're here for honest conversation, respectfully shared, and any resemblance to real people is purely coincidental, unless somebody didn't make reservations for Valentine's tomorrow. All right. Before we go any further tonight, I wanted to play something for you. It's an old Mad TV sketch, and for those of you old enough to remember Mad TV, that was back in the days when comedy was just reckless in the best way. For this particular clip, the setup is simple. A guy calls in to order a Valentine's gift. He's trying to sound smooth, organized, and responsible, but you can hear the performance in his voice, and the customer service rep clocks him immediately. So take a look.
Thank you for calling 1-800-GIFTS and Flowers. This is Kason.
Yeah, I've been on hold for 45 minutes.
Oh, I do apologize for that, sir. But during this Valentine's season, there are a lot of lovers out there trying to make that special connection.
Yeah.
How may I be of service?
Yeah, I want to place the Valentine's order. My source code is 23846.
Are you Mr. Daniel Huffman at 10 Ocean View Lane?
Yes.
Oh, Ocean View sounds very nice. That Ocean View air must keep your skin moist and exfoliated.
Yes, I guess it does. Can I place my order, please?
Mm-hmm. What is your first item?
Can I get the You Sweeten My Day macaroons?
Cookies on Valentine's Day.
Hello? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Excuse me, I just needed to collect my faculties for a moment. Sir, if I had observed a gentleman who could afford a house with sand and surf right outside his front door, I would be a little perturbed, to say the least, if all I received from said gentleman on Valentine's Day was some macaroons.
Okay, what do you suggest I order?
Well, may I be so bold as to ask what relationship you have to this woman and or man?
It's a woman. It's a woman. Wow, it's not like this is any of your business, but I don't know how long I want to be involved with her. And I definitely don't want to marry her.
Okay, then you're gonna need to get the polar bear jumper fruit and nut arrangement.
Okay, I'll get that.
Okay. And your second item will be?
I don't have a second item.
No, I'm sorry, beachfront property. I know you got another woman on the side.
No, I don't.
Oh, please. I got brothers and uncles and nephews and cousins and dogs, too. And I know how they run around.
Okay, all right, there's another girl.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, she's totally out of my league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you're gonna need to get the 2 dozen white roses and second skin satin eye pillow. Now, that says that you think she hot, but you're gonna let her get her sleeve. For now. Okay? Okay?
That's a good one, that's good, yeah. You know what? Okay, sold.
Okay.
Okay.
And your third item will be?
No, there's no third item.
What about your mama?
You know what? My mother is getting a card, and she's lucky to get that. She's a bitch.
What did you call your mama?
I called her a bitch. Hello. You know, if you hang up on me one more time...
Don't get surly on me, you dookie butter up the booty beachfront property dookie pie. I am a mother. I have a mother. My babies are mothers. And every mother deserves a treat on Valentine's Day. And I'm not talking about some goofy-ass card. Your mama squeezed you out of her hooter, and you can't even get her raggedy daisy.
Okay, I'm sorry. What do you suggest I order?
Well, I recommend that you made me I Love You chrysanthemum mug.
I will order that, please. I'll send it to my mom.
Okay, sir. Your total is $692.14, not including shipping and handling.
You're sucking me dry here. Don't put me on hold. I hate it. I hate this song.
We can do this all night. You got some addresses?
Yeah, I got all night too.
Okay, bring it.
All right, fine. I will.
You
Still
calm
here?
down? You
Still
calm
here?
down?
I'm still here.
You want some more?
Yeah, I want
you like
some
that
more.
Song?
Yeah, give me another
Okay,
taste.
let's go.
I love it. Still here?
I was a DJ in college. I could do this all night long.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Now, here's why I wanted to play that clip tonight. Valentine's Day has a way of exposing people. You can hear when someone is buying from love and when someone is buying from guilt. You can hear when it's commitment and when it's image management. Because the man wasn't ordering flowers, he was ordering protection. Protection from suspicion, protection from confrontation, protection from being found out. And we laugh because it's exaggerated, but if we're honest, some people don't sound that different this week. One bouquet for the main, one for the just in case, and somehow nothing for mom. There's something about Valentine's that turns love into logistics. Who gets what? Who gets posted? Who gets hidden? And the sketch is funny because the customer service rep becomes the conscience, right? She's not even judging him loudly. She's just noticing. And sometimes that's what makes people nervous, just being seen clearly. So tonight when we talk about mains, sides, and shared calendars, keep that clip in mind. Sometimes the loudest pressure isn't about how many people are involved, it's about whether your choices line up with your values. And if you start getting put on hold this Valentine's, ask yourself, who have you been avoiding? All right, but let's rewind for a second. How did we even get here? Valentine's Day is named after Saint Valentine. Sorry, having a bit of technical issue with my mic. Yeah, so Saint Valentine, for those who are not familiar, it's this guy here. Right? He was the rebel priest. He was the man who, according to legend, was secretly marrying couples when the Roman emperor didn't want soldiers getting attached. So technically, this whole holiday started as a secret relationship situation. And think about that. The foundation of Valentine's Day was quiet weddings behind the government's back. And now we're shocked that love is complicated. We've been complicated since the dawn of time. Then somewhere in medieval Europe, people decided February was when birds picked their mates. 2 birds, 1 nest, very tidy, very symmetrical, romantic. I mean, nobody bothered to check the birds' DMs though. We just assumed exclusivity and we ran with it. You fast forward a few hundred years and suddenly it's roses, chocolate, dinner reservations, and soft lighting. And nowadays, if it's not posted by 8:47 p.m., people start asking questions. At some point, love became a production. And now here we are in 2026. The pressures about surviving Instagram, pressure to post, pressure to prove, pressure to appear stable, pressure to look exclusive. Here's what's funny. Valentine's Day was about commitment under pressure. It's just that the pressure just changed. Now, Valentine's Day is marketed as soft music and slow walks on 7 Mile Beach. But for a lot of people, it's a stress test. It's the annual relationship audit. Are you secure? Are you seen? Are you celebrated? Or are you waiting? Some people are buying 1 gift, some people are buying 2, and some people are hiding receipts. So tonight we're asking something simple. Who actually feels the most pressure on Valentine's Day? Let's start with the main. The main looks secure. They're the ones with the title. The introduction at events. This is my person energy. The family knows them. The co-workers know them. But sometimes the main feels the most pressure precisely because they're visible. There's performance involved. You're not just celebrating love, you're representing the relationship. If you don't post, people notice. If the caption is dry, people notice. If the flowers look supermarket-ish, people definitely notice. Here's the quiet thing we don't say out loud. Sometimes the main isn't worried about another person. They're worried about comparison. Did he do more last year? Did she get more from her ex? Why does that other couple look so effortless? Valentine's can very quickly turn into a scoreboard season. And then there's the emotional pressure. The main sometimes feels like they have to hold it all together. If something feels off in the relationship, Valentine's doesn't hide it. It magnifies it. If you're already secure, it's sweet. If you've been sensing distance, now every detail feels symbolic. Did he book early? Did she plan anything? Why does it feel routine? And let's be honest, sometimes the main is less anxious about being cheated on and more anxious about being taken for granted. Being the main doesn't automatically mean being prioritized emotionally. You can have the title and still feel unsure. That's the part people don't talk about. Sometimes the main carries the most pressure because they have the most to lose publicly. It's visibility. It's the whispers. It's the screenshot. You know, when you ask the questions, you didn't know. And nobody wants to be the last to know. So when we ask who feels the pressure, don't underestimate the main. Sometimes the person who looks the safest is the one quietly refreshing their phone. All right, let's talk about the side now. And again, we're not attacking. We are simply observing. Right? The side doesn't carry the same kind of pressure as the main, but it's pressure all the same. The side doesn't have to plan the big public dinner, but they do have to manage expectations, and expectation management is stressful. There's this quiet thing that happens on Valentine's. You tell yourself, I'm cool, I don't expect much, but as the day goes on, you're checking. You're watching the time. You're watching the stories. You're watching whether your person has posted something. And here's the thing people don't say. It's not always about the flowers, it's about the acknowledgement. The side might not want the spotlight, but they don't want to feel invisible either. You see, invisibility hits differently. And in a small place like Cayman, invisibility can flip quickly into exposure. One screenshot, one tagged location, one who that is in the comments. And suddenly the side isn't invisible anymore. Now, sometimes the side feels less pressure because expectations are lower. There's no big performance involved. They don't have to worry about family dinners. They don't have to worry about the church glances. But there's another layer to it. The side often lives in the gray area. Are we serious or are we temporary? Am I just convenience? Is this attention or commitment? Attention can feel intoxicating. Being chosen secretly can feel intense, but secret intensity doesn't always equal stability. Sometimes the side isn't stressed about gifts. They're stressed about timing. Will I hear from you before midnight? Will I get the leftovers of the evening? Am I a priority or am I just a pause? That waiting can be loud. And the uncomfortable truth about it is that sometimes the side tells themselves they're fine with it, until Valentine's rolls around and reminds them that they're not. Valentine's is a visibility holiday. And when you're in a role that thrives on privacy, visibility can feel threatening. So when we ask who feels pressure, the side might look chill, but behind the scenes, they're calculating too. Now, we can talk about the shared. Because when people hear the words throuple or shared, they immediately assume chaos. Sometimes it's actually structured. If 3 adults have agreed and they talked it through and they've set their boundaries, Valentine's doesn't come with secrecy. It comes with scheduling. And that's its own kind of pressure. Who plans the night? Is it one big dinner together? Do you rotate years? This year for me, next year for the next person? Does somebody secretly prefer one connection more than the other but is trying to be fair? Fairness becomes a thing. In monogamy, you're competing with ghosts. In a shared setup, you're competing with presence. And even if everyone agreed, emotions are still human. Does everyone feel equally valued? Does someone feel like the add-on? Does one bond feel deeper than the other? And here's what's interesting. A shared structure might remove the fear of surprise. Nobody's sneaking around, nobody's hiding, but it doesn't automatically remove insecurity because comparison doesn't just disappear because honesty shows up. And Valentine's is already comparison season. Now you add a third person into that equation. Who sits in the middle of the booth? Who posts the caption? Whose hand is where in the photo? It sounds funny, but these little symbolic things matter, especially in Cayman. Because if you post as a trio here, it's not just your followers watching. It's your classmates from 2008. It's your cousins. It's your co-workers. It's somebody's mother zooming in. Might even be your mama zooming in. So the shared might feel less pressure about secrecy, but more pressure about balance, about equality, and making sure no one feels sidelined. And sometimes that's the real question. Does openness reduce anxiety, or does it just shift it? Love beyond 2 isn't automatically chaotic, but it's not automatically calm either. It still requires emotional maturity. It still requires clarity. And in Cayman, it requires courage, because here being open can feel louder than being quiet. So when we ask who feels pressure, don't assume that the shared is carefree. Sometimes the most organized calendar hides the most delicate emotions. Now, in all fairness, we can't leave out those that are single, the single people, because every Valentine's, singles get treated like they're either tragic or triumphant, and there's no middle ground. You're either, oh, you'll find someone soon, or I'm single and thriving and I don't need nobody. But the truth is usually somewhere in between. Some singles are genuinely unbothered. They don't have to worry about reservations to secure for dinner. They don't have to worry about maintaining any kind of performance. They don't have to worry about decoding captions. You don't have to coordinate dinner. You don't have to split time. You don't have to worry about who's posting what. You can eat dessert in peace. But Valentines can still be loud for those people. Because even if you're not in a relationship, you're still in society. You know, you scroll too. You see the bouquets. You see the candlelight. You see the captions that sound suspiciously rehearsed. And sometimes you feel fine. And sometimes you think, And that isn't really lonely. It's just being aware. In Cayman, that awareness can feel amplified because people ask questions. Are you seeing anybody? Well, where are you still single? Some singles feel pressure not because they want a relationship, but because they don't want to look unwanted. And that's a different kind of pressure. Valentine's doesn't just celebrate couples. It highlights status. And being single can feel neutral until it feels visible. And here's the flip side. Some singles are the calmest people in the room. No hiding receipts, no checking for posts, no waiting for the 10:47 p.m. text, just clarity. And clarity can be peaceful. So when we ask who feels the most pressure, don't assume the single is suffering, but don't assume that they're immune either. Sometimes the single is the most stable person in the conversation, and sometimes they're quietly wondering if next year will look different. And that's human. All right. We just talked about who feels the most pressure. The main, the side, the shared, and the single. But let's zoom out for a second. Is most relationship anxiety actually about cheating? Or is it about knowing or not knowing? Let's sit with that for a minute. When people call in upset, yes, sometimes it's about betrayal, but a lot of the time it's about confusion. And they ask themselves the questions like, am I the only one? Or am I secure? Am I being replaced? Or worse, am I being laughed at? In Cayman, that last one, it's different. Sometimes the pain isn't even the act, it's the surprise. It's finding out after the fact. It's realizing other people knew before you did. It's the screenshot circulating before the conversation ever happened. Maybe the problem isn't the number of people. Maybe it's the surprise. Because some people can handle complexity. What they struggle with is deception. Now, let's play a little thought experiment. Imagine this. First date. The person looks you dead in the eye and says, I don't believe one person can meet all my needs. I prefer flexible boundaries. Now be honest. Do you respect the honesty? Or do you quietly block them when you get home? Is it refreshing to hear that? Or is that a red flag waving at full mast for you? At least you know before you buy the Valentine's gift. And that's the real question. Would it hurt less to walk away early than to discover months later that you were in a situation you didn't agree to? Embarrassment lingers longer than rejection, especially here in Cayman. Reputation moves fast. Sometimes the anxiety isn't, are you cheating? It's, will I be the last to know? I apologize, folks. I seem to be having some issues with my mic. Give me a thumbs up, or you can send in a comment if you can hear me. I'm hoping that you can hear me. What's going on with my mic? Okay, I got a message saying that I'm fine, that they can hear me. All right, I'll continue. Yeah, so I mean, in Cayman, I was saying that embarrassment lingers longer than rejection, right? When it becomes a headline, public embarrassment can sting more than the private disappointment of finding out that you're not the only one in a relationship. But here's something uncomfortable to ask. Does transparency feel riskier than secrecy? If two adults agree to something non-traditional, there are no lies, there's no hiding, is that emotionally safer? Does it introduce new insecurities? Is exclusivity about love, or is it about control? I'm not asking that in a dramatic way. I'm asking because familiarity feels safe. We understand it. We've seen it. It's the script. But familiar doesn't always mean honest. Sometimes familiar just means socially approved. So let me ask you straight. Would you rather hear an uncomfortable truth early or discover a comfortable lie later? Because Valentine's Day is tomorrow and roses are nice, but clarity lets you sleep. Maybe this year the goal isn't perfection. Maybe it's knowing what story you're actually in, whether it's 1, 2, or beyond 2. Just don't let the surprise be the part that breaks you. Surprises are great gifts, not for relationship structures. I'm sorry, I'm just going to take a break. I seem to be having some problem with my computer, so if you would just, I'm going to replay that Mad TV clip just until I can find out what's going on. Please, I do apologize, audience.
Thank you for calling 1-800-GIFTS and Flowers. This is Kathon.
Yeah, I've been on hold for 45 minutes.
Oh, I do apologize for that, sir. But during this Valentine's season, there are a lot of lovers out there trying to make that special connection.
Yeah.
How may I be of service?
Yeah, I want to place a Valentine's order. My source code is 23846.
Are you Mr. Daniel Huffman at 10 Ocean View Lane?
Yes.
Oh, Ocean View sounds very nice. That Ocean View air must keep your skin moist and exfoliated.
Yes, I guess it does. Can I place my order, please?
Mm-hmm. What is your first item?
Can I get the You Sweeten My Day macaroons?
Hi, I do apologize. Yeah, my computer is telling me it's giving me messages and telling me that something's wrong with my mic. So again, if you can hear me, please do send in a comment saying that you can hear me okay. All right. I'm assuming I'm okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. All right, we've talked about honesty. We've talked about anxiety. Now, in Cayman, a throuple doesn't just involve 3 people. It involves everybody. In Cayman, relationships don't exist in isolation. They exist in community. They exist in church pews, in family reunions, in that Sunday dinner, in that one coworker who always knows too much. Let's imagine something. 3 adults, fully agreed, fully transparent, grown, stable. It's Valentine's Day. They go to dinner. They're happy. They take a photo. Now the real question. Can they post it? Do the comments stay open? Does somebody crop one person out just for the timeline? Does the caption say us, or does the caption get really creative? And then you Annie forward in that screenshot before dessert even reached the table, right? Picture Sunday morning. Would people stare if the 3 of you walk into church together? Would somebody lean over and whisper, "Oh, we need to pray"? Would the church WhatsApp be on fire by 11:42 a.m.? Let's not pretend. Church WhatsApp doesn't need evidence, it needs Wi-Fi. But to be fair, sometimes the reaction isn't cruelty, it's just unfamiliarity. We're used to complicated situations being quiet. We're not used to complicated situations being confident. And this is the part that makes Cayman interesting. Everybody has dated somebody. Everybody went to school with somebody. And everybody's cousin knows somebody who knows you. In bigger cities, like New York, London, wherever, you can reinvent yourself. But in Cayman, you run into yourself at Foster's. So is the discomfort about thruples and non-traditional relationships about morality? Or is it about the visibility of it? Is openness harder in small places because you can't hide from reaction? And here's a question we don't always say out loud. Are we more comfortable with quiet side situations than open shared ones? People tend to tolerate secrecy if it stays discreet, but transparency feels loud. But why does secrecy feel less disruptive than honesty? I'm not accusing, I'm simply asking. Imagine those three adults walk into a Valentine's dinner together or a Valentine's gala together. There's no drama, there's no hiding, just the calm confidence of, these are my partners over there. Is the discomfort theirs or is it ours? Cayman isn't unique in having complicated relationships. What's unique about us is how close we all are. Beyond Two Here doesn't just challenge romance, it challenges reputation. And sometimes that's the real pressure on Valentine's Day. All right, we're going to lighten this up a little bit. We've been talking about honesty, anxiety, reputation. So let's play a little game. It's called main, side, or shared. The rules are simple. I'll read a scenario, and you tell me what category it falls into. Just to be clear, this is about clarity, not condemnation or judging. This isn't a court session. This is just labels. So scenario number 1. A married couple agrees to date a third partner openly. There are no secrets. Everybody knows. They celebrate Valentine's together. Main, side, or shared? Is the transparency what makes it shared? Or does society still treat that third person like a side even if everybody signed the agreement? And does it matter? Does legality matter? Or is it just about consent? Scenario number 2. Somebody sent by WhatsApp, they say it's a shared situation. Scenario number 2. A man has a girlfriend publicly. Flowers, posts, family events. But every emotional conversation, every deep talk, every you're the only one who understands me type conversations, that's happening with someone else privately. There's no physical cheating, just emotional closeness. Is that main, side, shared, or something else? Emotional intimacy hits different. Sometimes physical is an act, emotional is attachment. And if the girlfriend doesn't know, does that automatically make the other woman a side? Or is it just emotional outsourcing? Scenario number 3. A couple has an unspoken understanding. They don't ask questions. They don't discuss outside interests. But occasionally, both of them quietly explore. There's no drama. There's no confrontation. Is it main, side, or shared? Is silence agreement? Or is that peace that nobody wants to disturb? We all know couples like that. We just don't say it out loud. Scenario number 4. A throuple, and again, for those of you who are not clear on what a throuple is 3 people who are all dating each other. A throuple wants to attend a Valentine's gala openly as a trio. They have matching outfits. There's a calm confidence. There's no hiding. Is it main, side, or shared? Would you respect their boldness? Does the public visibility change your opinion? It's one thing to say, do what you want. It's another thing to see it on the dance floor. And remember, in Cayman, that same dance floor includes your old schoolmate and your coworker's auntie. Scenario number 5. Someone says, it's a first date, and someone says, I don't do strict monogamy. You decide to keep seeing them. Are you becoming the main? Or are you becoming the side? Or are you becoming part of a shared structure? Or are you just curious? And be honest, sometimes curiosity turns into attachment before clarity shows up. Now, last scenario. You discover that you're not the only one. But here's the plot twist. The other person didn't know about you either. Main, side, shared, or something else entirely? Is that cheating? Or is that just chaos management gone wrong? Sometimes it's not a triangle, it's a traffic accident. And you see how the same situation feels different depending on one thing? Whether everyone knows. Sometimes the role isn't about what you think it is. It's about who has the information. Main energy, side behavior, shared structure, solo ego. And here's what I'm noticing as we play this. Beyond two isn't always the shocking part. Confusion is. If you don't know what role you're in, that's where the real anxiety lives. So I'll leave you with this. If you had to label your situation tonight without fighting it, what would you call it? Valentine's Day has a funny way of magnifying everything. If you're secure, it feels sweet. If you're unsure, it feels loud. It's amazing how one day on the calendar can make you overthink a caption. Tonight, we've talked about mains, sides, shared structures, singles, all of it. And we did it without throwing stones. You see, the truth is, relationships are complicated. They always have been. Cayman didn't invent complexity. We just get to see it up close because we're so small. But at the end of the day, Valentine's shouldn't feel like an interrogation. It shouldn't feel like you're being audited or you're competing with ghosts or you're refreshing your phone for proof. That kind of behavior is exhausting. Whatever your structure is, traditional, monogamish, openly shared, or strictly single, the real gift isn't roses, it's clarity. Clarity about where you stand, about what you've agreed to, what you're actually okay with. Confusion will make your chest tight faster than any complicated arrangement ever could. And in Cayman, clarity saves a lot of group chat analysis. It saves the whispers. Oh, you didn't know. It saves the screenshot drama. And perhaps that's the part we don't say enough. Sometimes we're not afraid of love looking different. We're afraid of looking foolish. So if nothing else this Valentine's, at least know what role you're playing and make sure you agree to it. Love doesn't have to look like a greeting card. It just has to be honest. Happy Valentine season, Cayman. Let's keep the roses and the truth.
Happy Valentine's Day to Uno. 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 I love you long time. Big boy is out. Cause real love steady, it don't need show. It move like reggae bassline, nice and slow. Real talk, love and lies, we see through all them disguise. Truth come first, we no compromise. Open your eyes, open your eyes. From Cape Shore to City Lights, real talk, love and we talk lies. Hold your heart, protect your vibes. It's real talk tonight.